This one kind of ranks at the top of the painometer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just can do a lot of things, but you just can't make free throws for them, you know. I think that's the, you know, the mental game when kind of probably hangovers from, you know, you turn that Maryland game somehow in that second half, right? I don't think the free throws are a problem as much, you know, so that was just as, you know, we had it, you know, with what did we have, a 10, 11 point lead or something? I don't know what we had. Was that right?
Yeah, 60.
You know, and we just had a pretty flat group out there. You know, just it kind of turned real quickly. So, yeah, but I think it came down, or no secret, it came down to those free throws. You know, we just needed one of those to go. But I do think I saw a lot of progress, though. I thought the flow was better. I thought we were able to play a little faster. 24 assists on 30 buckets is really good. That's kind of what I like to see. You know, again, I'm liking the play of, you know, Leah Guyton a whole lot, how efficient she was. You know, four assists to 1 turnover. Really, you know, Taylor Strimlow, she just makes some things happen. You know, moving Hannah to the 5, didn't get Ava in the game tonight, but that will, you know, be different moving forward. So there were a lot of good things, and I know we're going to sit here and we're going to focus on all the things that, you know, we're not used to. But it's, you know, it's a younger group. I got a lot of people, and I just got to work on their confidence right now.
I was going to ask, how concerned are you with this team's confidence right now?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, I don't care if you're the you know, Golden State Warriors. I mean, you lose 4 in a row. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So, you know, I've seen a lot of fight in them. I don't think that I doubt I'll not see that tomorrow. But you know, I think it's, you know, weighs on them, you know, but, you know, that's my job, is to keep them up, and, you know, I got to reprimand them for what they didn't do right. You would let that lead slip away early. I didn't, you know, we had some, when we were up 14-8, we got that momentum, or 14-6, and boy, and we just blew it on some transition. So we'll learn and we'll grow with that. But I mean, I knew when I took this job, it wasn't going to be the easiest. There were a lot of, you know, new faces. So I just, you know, we just got to stay the course. And I did see a lot of improvement. I thought the flow, as I said, was a lot better. So I just got to, you know, now you got to be, as a coach, you got to reprimand and demand it, but you also got to make sure that they know they can do it. So that's the trick this week.
The last couple of years, you know, you've had Caitlyn Martin as someone that'd step up and be a voice. Mm-hmm. Caitlyn on the floor, probably more than in the locker room. Who on the roster right now is the one that kind of steps up and says, "Hey guys"?
Leah Guyton. She does a heck of a job. There's a reason she was in at the end of the last game, and a reason she was playing tonight. She just has a really great perspective about it, and I just love that, you know. So she's doing a really nice job. I think that Sid, you know, does also tries, but Aaliyah's got a really good steady. She moves on, you know. That's what I was imploring them to be like, you know, the next. You can't, you know, the whole crowd might sigh when you miss the free throws, but as a competitor, it's the next one. Okay, we missed it, we got to get that stop. I think Aaliyah is wise beyond her years with that.
So in overtime, it looked like Iowa's offense sort of, you know, lost a little bit of that confidence that you were talking about. There's a lot more standing around than we saw in the second half. Was Nebraska doing anything different defensively, or what sort of affected that?
That's just the hangover from not wanting to go to overtime. You know, they just were, you know, they had the momentum. They're the team that got the momentum, and we needed to punch first, and we weren't able to do that. And then I think, you know, we got a foul or two. Could have made a 3-point play or something. Might have missed it. I think we missed a free throw there too. So I just think that we, you know, started to kind of look in that, you know, rear view mirror a little bit instead of that next play. So I mean, credit Nebraska. I'm not saying they didn't. They played hard. They did great jobs. They made free throws, right? But they had a, you know, they're just a really nice team, and so they deserved it. They earned the win. Hard fought, but there was nothing different. In my opinion, I got to watch the film. I just thought we got tight and we didn't continue the flow.
Jane, you just strike me as a generally optimistic person. Is that something you try and coach into your players during a time like this?
Yeah, I mean, I had to work pretty hard this last while, the last couple minutes of 3 of regulation to overtime. You can just kind of get a sense when it's going, right? So I was, I was really pleased we got such a great look at the end. I knew that we had the possession arrow. So on our last time out, I said, okay, then we somehow got that foul. I think 15 fouled, and Kylie, I think, did hit those 2. And I said, do not foul intentionally, try to tie it. And so Hannah got it, and we got a heck of a look. And if you look back, we got a heck of a look at Illinois. We had a heck of a look at Michigan State. We actually had a couple good looks at Indiana. So my optimistic, I told him afterwards, I'm really upset with some of our execution. We should not have blown the 11-point lead, and I'm very upset about their free throws. But I also know they didn't try to miss them. So you have to figure out why. And I said, we'll visit about that. But the optimistic side of me is like, something like that is going to start going, right? It's going to go. And I have to remind them that even when all looked lost, they came up with a really great tie-up, and we had enough sense to dribble it down and hit a wide open player for a really great look. It didn't go. And so, we got to make shots. We're only making 29% from the 3 tonight and 55%. I mean, we shoot like crazy in practice. And so, yes, but I do think, and I know I'm not just trying to save the media, I do believe there was progress. I do believe that this team has a lot left in them, and I love our freshmen. Now my trick, I like how the flow was, but now I have 3 centers. So now the minutes when Hannah's playing as well, that's where I got to try to figure out, because I think Ava Heiden's going to be really, really good. So that's the next challenge. But man, it's really fun to be able to work with those three centers. It's just you don't have enough minutes sometimes.
David?
Jen, I asked Sydney about how you kind of lead going into the net after this losing streak going into the West Coast. She said we just need to continue to pour into each other, and they prefer to learn lessons by winning, but losing, obviously, it's a little bit harder of a pill to swallow. I guess for you as the head coach, how do you kind of strike that balance between, like you said, holding your players accountable, demanding better, wanting to execute better, but also, continue to pour into them that you do believe in them? I guess how are you kind of striking that balance and doing that?
Well, I think, it's I have to watch the film, and I think it's good you kind of cool down. I have a kind of a rhythm after games. You're happy when you win, but I try to hold the line after games. I think that's when a lot of times you can do, you can be pretty frustrated, and you can do, more harm than good when you're just kind of hot talking about what we didn't do well. And so I think just being direct and honest, right? And, I think I have to keep them focused on the here and now and on the next, because they're going to hear all the things you guys are going to write about, and, all the things people are going to say, and, that's just part of the world we live in now. But I just think that at the end of the day, they're a really great group, and they're doing most things right. We just, I keep telling them we got to create a break. I'm not one that just is going to depend on how I want to catch a break. We need to create them, and that's one thing we haven't done yet. I thought we had some moments in the game we were creating some breaks, but then we got a little passive. But I do agree. I talk to them a lot about that. I tell them to pour into each other. But I think there's a lot of different ways to do it. You can be Bobby Knight, you can be, Pollyanna. I think it's somewhere in the middle. And so I don't think there's any textbook that tells you exactly how to do it, but I think that at the end of the day, I know they're not trying to lose. I know they're not trying to miss shots. I know they're not trying to miss free throws. I just have to really start getting to the underlying reasons of why we're having some non-productivity, especially in crunch time.
Last one, Ethan.
You mentioned rebounding coming into the game. You held Marowsky to just 7. She had double doubles in all 3 meetings last year. What did you guys do differently against her tonight?
Well, I think we were able to, I've talked about it a lot, but we talked about it a lot the previous years too. I think Hannah had a good bounce to her tonight about it. I thought that, we did some, she got some easy ones when we were trying to front. I was trying to throw different looks at her. But I think, we just really battled, and, she got in foul trouble, so you had to sit, so that helps. She plays, the whole game, she's a pretty big body. But honestly, if you look at every category here, I'm happy with every category except free throws, right? We're all writing a different story if probably every one of them hits one of those free throws. So that's what, when the chips get down and the noise gets loud, is you have to look at the majority of what went right. And I think if I can get them to keep focusing on that, then I think pretty soon, those shots we get at the end, it's going to turn.